So I know I'm a little late to the party seeing how the movie came out 6 years ago, but I really wanted to talk about why I really enjoyed this movie. So the movie was directed by Mamoru Hosoda, the same director behind The Girl Who Leapt Through Time and The Boy and the Beast. Now I really enjoyed The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, but I thought The Boy and the Beast was it was alright. The first half of the movie was definitely a lot stronger than the second half, but that's a video for another time. Whenever you ask someone what they thought about Wolf Children, you may come across an adjective that's widely associated with this movie, and that word being bittersweet. And well, it's a very fitting description. You find yourself with the biggest smile on your face during certain scenes, and almost on the verge of tears the next. Now I'm sure everyone's seen the movie by now, so I won't really go over the plot, but to give a quick synopsis, the story revolves around Hana's life all the way from university where she meets her husband to the birth of Yuki and Ame, to her motherhood where their kids are in their teens. The majority of the plot focuses on Hana trying to adapt to half-wolf, half-human children, where she lives in trepidation due to the fear of revealing their identity to the world. Now as you can imagine, this opens up very interesting and sometimes even comical moments where she ponders whether to go to the vet or the hospital, and she also has to struggle between having to study double the material by reading both parental books and books about animals. Throughout the movie, you'll get little snippets of narration from Yuki, the daughter, where she reminisces these moments based on what she recalls and how her mother told the story to her. So at times you'll hear her pop in to say things like, "Mother said we were very stubborn, but I don't really remember," or how mother would tell me that that was the scariest moment of her life, etc, etc. Although this isn't the most clever way to develop character and show exposition, I thought the way they executed it was very natural, kind of like reading her diary entries. Now, like I said in the beginning, this is a very bittersweet movie. You're following the tale of Hana having to go through the trials and tribulations of being a single mother, compounded by the fact that her children are wolves. If that wasn't enough, the movie also manages us to grow attached to Yuki and Ame as you basically see their character and personality develop as they themselves fight for which path they want to choose, that being a wolf or a human. And of course, their predicament is exacerbated by the fact that they still have to go through school to learn and blend in, and we all know that in and of itself carries a whole bundle of different anxieties. One of the reasons I really like the premise of this movie is that it uses these cliches of trying to fit into school or feeling like you don't belong, and it makes it new and entertaining by having them stem from the fact that they are half-wolf, which is an allegory in and of itself. I mean, about 1/3 of the movie is the family moving into this decrepit old home, refurbishing it, and learning how to farm through trial and error, and yet, the movie manages to glue you in through this whole ride. You get great character development here, and it's really the moment where you realize Hana is the best mom ever. Seriously, she deserves to win the Best Mom of the Year award or something. Also, just to quickly mention, the music in this movie is absolutely fantastic. It's one of those OSTs where you gladly sought after immediately after the movie is over. Listen, I just went back just to listen to the OST, and they engender such a visceral reaction from you, it's crazy. You're immediately reminded of all the hardship Hana had to go through, all the heartwarming moments, and all the joyful memories she had with Ame and Yuki. If I had to make a minor nitpick, there were some moments where I noticed that they used the same animation of Yuki throwing a tantrum, but just pasted them in different locations, which I thought was a bit weird. And also the fact that Hana didn't seem to have aged like at all throughout the course of almost 2 decades, I imagine. Occasionally, she'll have like a different hairstyle, but that's about it. Actually, I take that back. There's a cool point in the film where you can tell her skin became visibly darker as she spent more and more time out in the sun to care for her farm, which I thought was a pretty cool touch. But I'm surprised they didn't even bother adding a few wrinkles under her eye or make her hair a bit grayer. But maybe it's because she's still technically pretty young. I mean, she basically does get pregnant a few years after university, so it is very possible. And once again, this is all very minor nitpicks. I could honestly talk for hours on all the things I liked about the movie. I've barely scratched the surface on what this movie even holds. I mean, I haven't even gotten to talk about some of the lovable, wholesome characters this movie introduces, or how the movie doesn't go overboard with the idea of the family being a total outcast that's shunned by everyone. Seriously, any director could have very easily made that aspect of the film over the top to make the message as obvious as possible for the younger audience or something. But no, the movie takes a very realistic approach, which is ironic when you think about it, by having the side of the characters just be normal, well-mannered, and friendly. Hell, even Sohei's mom could have very easily been utilized in a way where she's portrayed as this absolute worst of the worst mankind has to offer, but the movie doesn't dwell too long with that. Overall, this movie is great, and I can't wait to watch it again.